You know, you're going to use the things you just learned about the anatomy of the sewing machine as you begin to thread your sewing machine. So the things you're going to need to thread your sewing machine are your sewing machine, your machine owner's manual, since every machine is slightly different. And then you want to have a spool of thread, your bobbin, and a universal sewing machine needle. Okay, now you have the machine is ready to be threaded. Okay, so you start with your thread on the spool. And in this case, mine shows that I'm going to go 1, if you can see it, 2, 3, and then or 2, 3, back down for 4, and then I have a little thing here. And a lot of machines have a little extra thing here that you have to put the thread behind. So I'm going to try to do this. I think my tripod needs to be adjusted for me to do this. So I'm going to try to do this as best as I can with one hand. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go behind the thread guide here. I'm going to try to bring you on this journey with me. All right, it's going to go down here between this area. So this is where it's going to get engaged with the tension disc, which is why you have that tension controller there. I'm bringing it down and behind. I'm bringing it back up, and so now I'm going to engage my take-up lever. So I always recommend to have your take-up lever as high as it will go. Sometimes they're kind of nestled in between there on some machines. You're going to go behind that take-up lever, and you should see it catch like mine. If you can see it, the thread is now in that little hole. You're going to go down again, and then here is where I'm going to go behind this little, can you see it? So I went down here and I went behind this little, hold on, you kind of go behind this little piece here. I'm going to try to do it. I don't know that you're going to be able to see it. Hold on one second. Bear with me. Okay, there you go. Up close and personal. And then I actually have this extra little piece right here that I have to hook mine behind, right there. There you go. And I just basically have got the machine threaded, and now it's just a matter of putting the thread through that needle right there. So with mine, you will, I'm going to engage that needle threader, and you'll basically go, for me, I go behind that and through there, and then when I release it, it pulls it through, and I can pull my thread through, just like that. Boop. And that's the upper thread being threaded. So the next thing you want to do is insert the bobbin. All right, so again, remember you had the bobbin, and like I was telling you before, I'm going to lay this on the table so you can kind of see it. When you install it into the machine, you want to make it kind of look like a little P, just like that, so that it pulls off counterclockwise like that. Okay, and then you're going to put it here into the bobbin holder of your machine, just like that. And okay, so then on my machine, and your machine may have it too, I have, let's see if you can see it better like that. It has kind of how that thread goes through the bobbin. You can see that it goes kind of around this little catch and up this way. So on my machine, if you can see it, it goes around that little catch just like that and up this way. Okay. And then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to pull up that lower thread. And The way I do it, I'm fortunate enough to have an up and down button, but you can just do it with your hand wheel. You're going to rotate that hand wheel towards you. It's going to lower that, you're holding onto that upper thread coming through that needle. You rotate towards you, and as you rotate that hand wheel towards you and the needle goes down and back up, if you can see that, see how this is pulling that thread underneath on the bobbin? You're going to pull your upper thread up as you pull the needle, and if you see, it pulled that bobbin thread right up through the bottom here. So now both of my threads are actually, if you can see it, they're both actually up through the bottom threads up through this hole, and then I'm just going to push those back. So if you can see that the bobbin thread came up through the bottom here, and then I put on this little case and I am ready to go, just like that. So if you have any questions, you need to post them now so I can answer them. Or if you watch the video later and you come up with some questions as you're watching it later, just leave me a message and I will message you back so that I can answer your question. That is threading the machine all the way from to threading the upper thread to threading the lower thread. One thing I'd like to encourage you to do is to like my Facebook page if you haven't already done so, and visit my website, www.stylishly-sew.com. Please share me with your friends. Talk to you soon. Bye.